I'm going to be the first. I make waves everywhere I go.
Those aren't waves, those are fart bubbles in the water.
Let's go.
So there's a lot going on in the world right now. From national politics and global conflicts that affect millions of people, to the local issues that affect you and the people close to you. And it's important to be aware and knowledgeable about these issues. But between sensationalist headlines and echo chambers to just straight up misinformation, sometimes it's hard to discern fact from fiction within the media. Thankfully, there's Ground News, an online tool that helps you understand the media landscape better. Created by a former NASA engineer, Ground News gathers related articles from more than 50,000 sources from around the world and compares how different outlets cover the same story. Just take a look at this recent news story about the ICE protests in Los Angeles. Federal ICE agents conducted immigration raids all across Los Angeles, resulting in protests primarily in downtown LA. The story has been covered by almost 400 sources, with 31% leaning left, 22% leaning right, but about half of them right down the middle. This headline from the predominantly left-leaning CNN says, Los Angeles ICE raid sparked nationwide protest. Trump is determined not to let it ruin his parade. This article focuses a lot less on the protest itself and tends to put most of the focus on the political aspect of it, targeting how it may be affecting Trump and his military parade, which was happening around the same time. On the other side, you have this headline from the right-leaning Post-Millennial, which says, LA Apocalypse. LAPD overwhelmed as anti-ICE riots and violence escalates across Los Angeles. This article is obviously very sensationalist, leading with a title like LA Apocalypse, and is definitely trying to paint a much more extreme picture of the protests in LA. And while some stories may have very different biases like this one, there are some stories that you may not even see at all, which leads me to the blind spot feature, which is a feed of news stories that have little to no reporting by one side of the political spectrum, such as this story on the US sending Air Force tankers across the Atlantic, which may indicate further US involvement in the Iran-Israel conflict, which was only reported by about 24% of left-leaning news sources. Or this story about 2 migrant ships crashing off the coast of Libya with at least 60 people missing or presumed dead, which is only reported by about 17% of right-wing news outlets. But even if a story does seem outlandish or have a very obvious bias, I still find that there's a lot of value into looking into other people's echo chambers to try to help understand why they feel the way they do or what may be shaping their worldview. I legitimately think that Ground News is a great tool, and it's one that I used even before partnering with them. Between social media and nonstop news coverage, it's very stressful trying to keep up with what's going on in the world, and even more stressful trying to discern what's true or not. But Ground News helps offer a balanced and comprehensive look into what's going on, as well as the context so you can stay informed. And if that's something you value, I recommend going to groundnews.com/Maddy and using coupon code Maddy25. By signing up through my link, you'll get up to 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the same plan that I use for unlimited access to all their features. Ground News is making a real difference by promoting transparency and diverse perspectives within the media. I truly believe in their mission, and I hope you'll give them a try. And now, on to the video. Hi guys, welcome back to Give It To Me Straight, a normal talk show for normal people. I'm your host, Maddy Morphosis, and today we are live on location in Denver, Colorado, at the home of the one and only Season 11 winner of RuPaul's Drag Race, Yvie Oddly.
Howdy.
Hello. Is Yvie short for anything? It sounds like a shortened version of something.
It is. It's short for E.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Public school dropout. Well, I was gonna say welcome, but welcome to me. Thank you for having me in your home today. We spruced the place up. You put all this little artwork just to kind of zhuzh up the space.
I did, especially because I heard that it's creepy when you go in somebody's house and they have blank walls. The only thing that's apparently more unfuckable than that is when you go into somebody's house and they have no sheets on their bed.
Yeah.
Which is me 10 minutes before anybody comes into my house.
Mm-hmm. Is that why you told me whenever I was Ubering over, you were like, yeah, message me whenever you're closed.
So that I can do the last minute, oh, trade is coming sweep. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I've got this DL straight guy coming to my house.
Mm-hmm. You put a sheet on the bed, the sock that's standing in the corner, you push that off into the closet somewhere.
I just lay her down and she makes an area rug.
There you go. I almost didn't make it today because I was flying in and my flights kept getting delayed because you guys are having very lugubrious weather out here today.
Lugubrious?
Yes.
No, is that a real word that you're really using?
Yeah, it's a word.
I know it's a word. The only way I know it though is we have the most hated words in English, fridge magnets, literally 10 feet over there. And lugubrious became one of my favorite words because it's on that, and I have no idea what it means still.
I think it just means sad and dreary. Something evoking sadness.
Well, that's
It's rainy. It's rainy in Denver.
yeah, that's
It's rainy. It's windy.
lugubrious.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it was very worrying because they. I was worried I wasn't even going to make it at all because they kept delaying the flights, and then once we finally got in the air, we're flying in the rain over the windy city, and
You're
we're
just
just
like
like,
circling.
yeah, we're spiraling. But we touched down. We made it into the river, and everything was good. We're here today. Speaking of out of the river, I love this look today you have going.
I can tell.
Yeah,
I can
we're
tell.
like two peas in a pod, two controversial peas in a pod.
I don't know about that. You're clearly wearing the knockoff version. This is really expensive fashion.
This is reasonably priced. I got it on the sale rack.
Wait, what? How much did yours cost?
I think realistically, probably like $25-$30 on Amazon. But then you got to factor in like a $3 pack of markers. So
And
the nickels and dimes, they add up.
and the years of guilt for supporting child labor, just
What?
for like a joke look.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
I honestly don't know. I was just trying to be woke.
Oh,
I was trying to lead a righteous cause, like stop children from making my awesome fashion or whatever.
yeah. That's why it's so expensive because you use adult labor.
I do.
Yeah.
They're doing very adult things while they're laboring on this.
No tiny callous fingers on your wardrobes.
Hell no, they're all busy paying taxes on my dresses.
Exactly.
That's so fun.
What is?
Paying taxes.
Oh yeah. You don't strike me as someone that pays their taxes.
If anyone from the IRS is watching, I am. I I
You're
haven't.
like the tax you pay is like the tax that's automatically applied on like groceries and stuff.
Sometimes I don't because they actually don't collect any tax on five-finger discounts.
That's true. That's very true.
It's pretty wild. It's kind of like stealing.
But do you have to count them as assets? It's a gray area. Technically and morally, gray area.
Is that why our grandparents always just like cut open mattresses or that one creature from Star Wars and hid all of their money in there?
Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah, I'm talking about money laundering. I'm telling the IRS, look for this person right here, right now.
I can tell by your outfit you don't launder anything.
I'm so hurt. I washed a rug for you today.
It's true. I apologize. I'm not being a good house guest right now. I'm so sorry. But we are here in beautiful Denver, Colorado. This is where you're born and raised here. You started drag here, and you just bought a house here recently. Do you have plans to ever leave Denver, or is Denver your forever home?
I don't really want to leave Denver because I feel like the world's going to end in like 10, 20, 30 years max. Like our world is going to end. The world as I know it. And when all of that's going down, I want to be right where I was born, probably tripping and dying by falling downstairs or something stupid when there's like zombies around, you know? There's like way worse things going on. I want to fall down the same stairs I've been walking up for the last 20 years.
Beautiful. Your farewell tour is the 2 steps in front of your house.
It actually kind of is. You walked up those steps.
Yeah, a little dicey, but we made it.
And you didn't even meet any of my neighbors.
No, why? What's up with your neighbors?
I can't say anything about them because they're all really good people.
Okay.
And they help guard my house all hours of the day and night.
That's very cryptic.
I mean, just as long as I let them like sell drugs and like literally right in front of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't be the only person on the block doing that, so it's only fair.
No, it just is only annoying when their business gets in the way of my business. Like I legit had this like unknowledgeable twink come over once, and he like got all the way here and then like hit me up back on Grindr and was like, "Hey, I'm actually going home because there were a bunch of people in front of your house and it looked like I was gonna get jumped."
Oh my God.
I've never been so angry. I like ran out my front door and I was like, "You guys are cock blocking! Hey!" It was really, and I looked exactly like this.
It's giving like a George Clinton in drag, kind of.
George Clinton in drag?
Yeah. I mean, George Clinton kind of was doing drag, but it's like more so like with the lipstick, you know?
With the
It's
lipstick.
like his mugshot when he got arrested that one time.
I am not following George Clinton like that.
Oh, George Clinton?
Is he still alive?
I don't know anymore. This is a while back. He got like arrested or whatever.
All of these references are so great and current. Go Google it. Go chat GPT it.
I figure you might know a little bit more because you have a much more eclectic music taste. I figured maybe you would have dabbled a little bit further into that world. You're also older, so.
Not by much, darling. Or at least like the makeup isn't showing. Wait, how old are you for real? I was thinking about this earlier.
I'm 23.
No, the way I wanted to believe that so hard.
No, I'm 30.
I was like, there's no way Drag Race would cast an underage straight twink. Like, that's too many boundaries.
It's true. Yeah, no, I was actually a late bloomer. I started drag when I was about like 22, 23. But yeah.
Is that
30
late now these days?
I think, well, yeah, I mean, like Georgia started whenever she was like 7, so
Well,
a lot of people like they're doing drag like in high school now, and then starting drag immediately after they graduate because they watch Drag Race, and now the blueprint is there, and
that just means that they're quicker on the quitting and HRT train, you know? That just means like people don't have to wait until they're 50 to transition anymore.
imagine crashing and burning with Botox lip filler at 23.
Yes, because I was 24.
But you kept going though. You got like a home. You got one Drag Race.
That's
You did something with that lip filler.
That's kind of a fluke though, because Drag Race. I don't know what happened. I prayed to the right God on the right day. I fought the right people at the right time, and even then, it technically speaking didn't get me this home for like a couple of years.
That's true, because of COVID.
Yeah, COVID. Yeah, COVID.
What do you mean? What are you saying here? You're being cryptic. I feel like I'm missing something.
I'm not even being cryptic. I'm just being like, Drag Race changed my life, but it took some time for it to change my life in the ways that everybody has promised. And I've already said that. What I'm saying is RuPaul promised me a hand job, and I never got it at the end. I had to settle for Carson.
Yeah, that's not the same.
I know. His fingers are so bony.
It's not the same at all. You think RuPaul got soft fingers?
Actually, 100%, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I feel like...
Because they've got like piano fingers.
What the fuck is piano fingers?
Just someone like long, skinny fingers. Yeah, you got salad fingers.
Yeah. All the better to spoon you with, my dear. Legit, I have like really good fingering fingers.
In what way? Like just like your technique, or like the shape or the texture?
I think
everything.
I think everything for one.
Okay.
I'm just really good at sex for 2.
Okay.
I'm psychic for 3.
Oh, so you already know what they want before they get there.
Yeah, and I just like pretend like I don't, keep them on the edge the whole time. I come and then I tell them to leave.
Like, for you, it's not foreplay; it's rhetorical questions. They're like, "You like it when I do this?"
It actually,
and you already know the answer. Yeah,
it kind of is. Like this whole interview, I know what questions you wrote down because I was there in the bedroom being like, "Hey, you should ask me if I like rhetorical questions." I'm lost. Don't play games with me.
Okay. We'll just move on then. We'll just move on. But yeah, as we're talking about, you have this home here in Denver, but you actually have another home in New York.
Are you trying to make me look rich? I say as I'm wearing my really expensive fashion.
Yeah. I didn't say you own the homes, but
I was chaotic. That was my fault.
No, it's okay. But with the two homes, like, how do you make it work, like living in 2 places? Like, how often are you in each home? Is it difficult, like you and your partner being like split up?
It's definitely difficult for us to be split up. That's like why I went in on a house with him in New York. I was sick of only getting to see him like once or twice a month for a couple of days, and then also having the feeling that you're like just staying at your boyfriend's apartment. Like, ooh, sorry, I just brought so much stuff. Sorry, my toothbrush is so big and takes up so much space. So I wanted to like build a place for us together, especially because New York is just one of those places you go if you're trying to do something. I feel like LA is the place you go if you're trying to be like a big Hollywood star, and New York is where you go if you're trying to be important to yourself.
That's where you go just to hopefully see Amanda Lepore walking down the street, which I have.
Wait, really?
I saw her, yeah.
How do you know? Does she wear wigs in the daytime?
Well, it was at night. It was like she was leaving the club. I mean, I've met her before too, but like it was just like leaving a venue, and she's just kind of walking down the street, just full Amanda Lepore. Just
like I've met her too, but that's the thing is,
it's different between seeing her in a club and then seeing her in the wild.
It's like seeing your teachers in a porno.
Yeah, maybe.
Did you ever have any crushes on your teachers?
I think there was like one in middle school, but a small town, we didn't have very many teachers, and it was slim pickings out there.
Yeah, you were like, I probably shouldn't that cousin too.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
We have a guest.
Yeah, this
Hi.
is Princeton.
Hi, Princeton.
He's a pug. He's got terminal ass cancer.
Oh my gosh.
I can't joke about that. I've had this fantasy
Uh-oh.
about like wearing nails for no reason for like a couple days now, and just seeing how long I can keep them on. What's the longest you've ever worn nails?
1 day, 2 days, maybe.
Well,
It's just inconvenient. It sucks.
yeah, it really
It's the
is.
worst.
But it looks so cunty. I now realize my true power. It's the nails. It's also better insertion. Have you ever fisted?
Fisted?
Yeah.
We're not getting into my life. We're not here to talk about me today.
Have you ever wanted to watch me fist?
Not beforehand, but when you're talking about the nails, I'm just like curious. Just like from a curiosity's sake. You know, it's the same thing when Cameron Michaels was talking about doing furry porn. I was like, I don't really want to see it, but I also I want to see it.
Yeah, just like you're curious about like what color everyone's bush is when they're like walking down the street. Like, does it match your ear hair?
Yeah, it's just like curiosity. It's for science.
Science.
But as we're talking about, you and your husband, you live in 2 different places. But he spends most of his time in New York. You spend most of your time here in Denver. Like, how do you make that like work between the two of you?
We're sluts. We're just like
Okay.
we're sluts. We're sluts both for each other and with others. I think what really brought us together was the fact that we have our own lives, our own different worlds going on. Like, I was trying to win Drag Race. He was trying to be some big hotshot lawyer. And that like gave us enough time to focus on our own shit. And every time we're back together, it's like just hopping in that same cuddly blanket that's like never been washed or whatever. It smells like you and it feels like you. And it makes it really sweet. And then in the times in between, like, I'm off laying pipe, he's off giving it up, you know? We're just sledding around and making a million little fake boyfriends.
What do you mean by fake boyfriends?
Well, it's like a boyfriend that you can't actually get emotionally attached to in that way. You're like, oh wow, I love people, and I love people in all these different ways, and like you live a fantasy being like, oh, we could be boyfriends for a day, like, and then they say something annoying like, have you watched that new gay show that overcompensating or whatever? And then you're like, well, actually, it's time for you to go.
So they ask you if you watch Drag Race. You're like, you should leave.
I actually have I hook up with a lot of fans. I know a lot of girls are against that, but like my grinder says like, yes, I am. Like, I am who I am.
Oh, so you're not gonna take a photo with them, but you'll bring them home? That's crazy.
I'll take videos with them.
You won't take a photo. You'll take a video.
It's better. It lasts longer.
Yeah. A lot of the guests that I have on the show, they talk about like their coming out stories and stuff. But yours is a lot less conventional than most, because everyone else, they have very similar tales. For you, you were in this small pod of bisexuals, basically.
Yeah. It was like, I thought we were all straight in the beginning. I was like, yeah, me and my group of mostly women and soft poets and soft artists and wait, you're bisexual? Oh my God, that's against Jesus or whatever the Bible says. I don't know. I never read it. And then like another one would pop up. And then the girl I was dating at the time was like, I'm bisexual. And that gave me the strength to go and tell the guy that I wanted to leave her for, that I was bi.
Oh. And I'm assuming he didn't reciprocate, though? Because there's a tone in your voice that says that it wasn't.
It was like the biggest mistake of his life. Okay, look at me now. Look at me now. You can take all of that out, or you can keep it in. I know you're in Japan. I know you're probably married, but you could have had all of this.
You could have all of this. You could have had old Greg. This could have been yours.
These nails could have been 5 feet inside of you.
Yeah. Maybe it's better you stay in Japan for your safety. But yeah, so you're in this like little group. You're all these like little straight friends, and then just like one day, someone got the courage to come out as bi, and there's just like domino effect.
Yeah, it was actually like my best friend, I guess, since school times now. Like, she came out, and she really is what like introduced me to the devil. She was like,
my
you know what's fun? Sneaking out of school and going to drink a single beer that we stole from someone's mom's basement.
If it wasn't for her, you could have been like a normal, highly functioning member of society.
I don't know about that. I didn't have any friends otherwise. I could have just been an incel.
So, like, so you were bisexual in high school, along with the rest of your little bisexual squad. Did you guys have like a little name, little team name, little group name? How did you refer to yourselves? How did other people refer to you?
They didn't. We were just like...
They didn't.
Yeah, they didn't. We were the people who didn't like fit in any specific group. We were like...
You were by yourself.
Oh! Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It was nice being with these like bi weirdos though, because I could always manipulate them into playing spin the bottle with me. And I was like, oh, we're all bisexual.
Yeah.
We all might as well practice making out right now. I'll Spider-Man kiss you, just hanging from like the second floor of the mall.
I was about to ask what a Spider-Man kiss meant. Oh, you just not like
yeah,
the movie,
it's
like the movie.
Yeah, where you're like, oh, and then they stick it in. Oh shit! I showed my sweatpants like RuPaul.
Well, that's how you identified back then. How do you identify now? Do you still identify as bisexual, or have you evolved into something else?
Literally just like slutty, or
Okay.
yeah, slutty. I still use gay. Like that's the thing, is gay gets the point across. I'm not really worried with about like how other people perceive my identity, as long as they understand. I don't want to hear about your life story until after we nut. Like until we're in a puddle of each other, and then we can have beautiful, intimate interviews where we're dressed exactly the same.
Yeah, that's what happened today. We busted our nut first, and now we're sitting down having
In
a nice
separate
conversation
rooms, in separate rooms.
But we were touching the walls. So, yeah, it's very like this kitchen's not the same. Very those vibes. Do you still find yourself attracted to like female presenting people?
In times I do. Like I think really most of my sex and sexuality is psychological, and I'm just like a raging misogynist, you know.
Same. That's why we have so much in common.
High five, bro.
Hell yeah.
I can't with these nails.
Where you didn't.
No, like I do. I am attracted to women, but psychologically, I don't like the dynamic I'm in when I'm being sexual with a woman. It's like, yeah, I've got all this man privilege and power, and I'm supposed to take care of you, baby. And did I open that door for you? Oh God, did I take your shoes off and brush your hair? Well, like, there's just so many rules that I felt like I had to follow that never really fit into my who I am. I know I'm a drag queen, and I know I'm an awarded drag queen, and I know I'm an internationally famous drag queen with a fat, but I'm a passive person. I'm a passive top. I want people to see what their desires could be with me, and then I'm going to do my job to fulfill it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what made me gay, was being like, oh, if I've got the same parts as them, I don't have to apologize for getting a boner. You know? And that was literally it.
We have common ground. We have built-in understanding.
Yeah, this isn't my fault, and that's not your fault. So maybe we should help each other out.
You actually had a lot of support from like your family and stuff, and you also got support from your biological father as well. Your hot dad, as everyone knows him. Do you ever get uncomfortable with people having the less than after your dad so much?
Not really.
Ever felt weird?
He's hot. I've always known he's hot. My whole life, people have been like, your dad's hot, can you help me get in with him? I think the only time it's uncomfortable is like when you just win Drag Race. Like you just won it, all of your dreams that you worked so hard for came true, and you never thought they would, and you're doing press, and they're like, so first question for you, as the new winner of RuPaul's Drag Race, can I your dad? I'll get that man. Oh, I want him to split my open in 37 ways and just fill me with fucking and this has been Joey Nolfi with EW.
Yeah. That's the only question.
Yeah. Like, I know my dad pretended for a while to be like, oh, it's so weird. Oh, there's just all these gay guys hitting on me now. I know he like sits there and goons to his DMs just being like, yeah, all these people I don't want me so bad. Is that what it was like when you got on Drag Race and every gay guy ever was like, wow, we got a real straight here, and then they saw your drag and they were like, nah, he was a real straight.
More or less, yeah. Yeah, more or less.
I actually really liked your drag. I was rooting for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I just be doing costumes and be having fun.
That's what drag is, or whatever.
I feel like a lot of people take it too seriously. They're like, this is my art, and they're wearing this overly paid for outfit that looks like someone else's, and they're doing someone's talent show from the 90s. Like, I'm like, that's not your art, that's someone else's art. You're doing well, it's entertaining, but
you sound like every reason why I came into season 11 as spicy as I did. I was like, I'm so sick of these boring bitches. I thought I hated drag because all I saw was this. And then I got on season 11 and saw that apparently the whole world was just that. Like, that was so shocking to be with that many people who pretended like they'd never seen someone who wears black lipstick. Which is...
It's not even that extreme. They don't even know.
Yeah, it's so wild. Like,
I've seen some things in San Francisco that you don't even know.
San Francisco, Seattle, the entire Pacific Northwest, Michelle in her makeup trailer. Like, there's so many more terrifying, alternative, freaky things than me. And I thought it was actually going to be to my detriment that the only personality I had was like, I'm a weirdo. And luckily they put me with who I just didn't get along with me, and people got to see the real me.
Oh, I thought my earring fell for a second.
It's still there. Those are heavy, aren't they?
A little bit, yeah. I had to get this like little guy from like a little Amazon little $1.
You just love giving Jeff Bezos your money.
But I can't wear really expensive drag for like one of these interviews. I'm gonna wear it one time, never be seen again.
I just love how you're like, yeah, all these spending all this money on all of their drag that they call their art, and it's not your art, and you're literally sitting here dressed up as the art that's not my art, giving money to Jeff Bezos.
But the difference is I don't call this art. I'm playing dress up. Like, it's always what it is, you know. It's like, I feel like that's another thing too with like drag. This is a whole nother side conversation, but like everyone feels like you have to have like this very specific like vision and this artistic style and stuff. And it's like, why are we putting limitations on drag? Let it be what it is. And like,
have you ever seen queens performing and they're like breathing the words? They're like,
yeah, or like whenever they just are kind of singing the words, and whenever they're coming up to you to take the dollar, you just hear them singing.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, I guess that's fine, but kind of takes you out of it a little bit.
Out of the fantasy, you're like, oh, wow, those words weren't really coming out of your mouth because you couldn't even catch your breath, Brooklyn. She's literally the person who does that the most I've ever seen in my life. I could hear her during Sorry Not Sorry across the room, across the stage.
Yeah. I don't mind it whenever queens are even singing, as long as it's like really good, but like after you've seen like Ada Vox perform live, it's hard to watch just some random local queen singing This Is Me like an octave down.
Have you ever sung This Is Me an octave down?
Not yet.
Mama, you're not doing drag then.
Not yet.
Me neither though.
But anyway, back to your parents. Are you even doing anything with those nails, or are you just repeatedly just licking them?
I'm just like trying to, I don't know, man.
Is it just like a nervous tick at this point?
Yeah, I just like I believe.
Are you stimming?
A little bit. I don't know. I don't usually stim without my hands in my pants. But I'm not wearing pants today. I'm wearing a dress
with sweatpants underneath.
Tell my secret. Rue's already got ruined. Kids can't know we're all liars wearing pants underneath our pads.
Anyway, okay, back to it. I was talking about your parents. You were actually born out of wedlock between your parents, and you bounced around between them like your other family members. Was there any like troubles like with your childhood or things like negative experiences because of that, like bouncing around a lot?
It was actually kind of fun having parents who were never married, never together, and who I knew hated each other.
No.
Or not hated, just like couldn't be in the same room because
so it's like when one comes to drop off the other, you're like, oh, my soaps are on, my stories are on.
Exactly. And I also just got to be multiple people. I've gotten to experience what it's like being the eldest sibling, the youngest sibling, the loud, crazy, queer one, the quiet, crazy, queer one. I don't know. It gave me a lot of the skills I use to code switch every day.
But you mentioned whenever I asked about like bouncing around, if it caused troubles for you, you said a million other things did. Can I ask what those other things were that caused you issues growing up?
Yeah, it'll just like sound really insensitive if I just list off all of the trauma. Like it didn't actually matter to me, but like domestic abuse and issues with my step parents and alcoholism and being extremely poor and on food stamps and living in the hood and hearing gunshots and having to lie about where we lived so that we could go to get nice educations and being
Lie about where you
ashamed that I
live.
was on scholarships everywhere I went because I was so well spoken for.
Right.
I can say that. It's so much funner to say that now. Yeah, yeah. When it doesn't need to be said at all.
Yeah, it's just a nice little spice to add, to every dish.
Yeah, either that or no racial slurs. Have you ever accidentally just thrown out a racial slur?
No, I never accidentally.
Never
no,
accidentally.
No, never accidentally. I honestly don't think I've ever used a racial slur. I never used any kind of slur in a negative way. I was always very
Uplifting.
never was one to hurt someone's feelings. I was like, I'm gonna be mean. I was at least that kid. Because even a small conservative town, I was like, that's a mean thing. You're being mean.
Where did you get this sense of shade from then? Because you're a shady.
Honestly, I think hanging around gay people, because it's I knew I could be punny and witty, and then I see around gay people and they're
You absorbed their little mean.
yeah, they're insulting each other. I'm like, oh, you can do this, and then you don't, people won't take it seriously.
They're your friends.
Yeah, just joshing, Like in high school, it's you can roast your friends, but at some point, people take it too seriously and they want to fight because they got stuff to prove.
Me.
You
Me.
ever been in a fight? You fight?
Not really as an adult. I think I've thrown one punch at the club I worked at.
Oh, why?
Because drunk people are the worst. They're just actually the worst. I don't even need to know the situation. All I know is if you are in the club and an employee is in the club and you get in a fight with the employee, you're in the wrong. You just are.
Yeah.
It's their job to control the party. They're going to kick you out.
I can't imagine you throwing a punch though.
Yeah, punch was a very strong word for it. It was probably
Yeah.
I didn't even touch them. I just thought I had psychic powers and was like, oh.
Reading too many X-Men comics.
Yeah, actually, I've got those over here too.
Yeah. Yeah, I just can't imagine this little theater kid throwing any kind of punches,
Don't
this little-
don't get me in my Shakespeare. That's so rude. Although that is from a video where I'm twerking, so I know I can throw it.
Well, everyone knows you can throw it. You're really into theater and stuff like that. What really sparked your interest in artistic pursuits? Was your family artistic?
No, actually, it was kind of
You went to an art school.
Yeah, I went to an art school. They just really encouraged me to do whatever I wanted, and I always knew I never wanted a real job. Plus, it's fun getting attention for things that you're naturally good at.
Yeah, so you're dabbling in just any artistic endeavors, anything you can find, because you've dealt with a lot of mediums.
I mean, I still am. I paint, I rap, I sing. I got one-woman shows. I got my own podcast now. I'm taking over your podcast.
Halfway through, it's just going to blend. And we're gonna sides.
We become one.
Well, no, we can't get demonetized. We can't do that. That's a Patreon exclusive.
Do you think you could get demonetized for a casual little blood ritual? Just finger to finger?
Probably. That would demonetize. I got videos demonetized. I don't even know what happened. That's why I'd be censoring everything.
You're none of this is for children.
If YouTube can give you any reason not to pay you, they will. And then they'll still put ads on it.
I know. It's kind of fierce. I love it. They're we're still getting ours, though.
Yeah. Capitalist baddies. We love to see it, I guess.
Love you, YouTube.
Yeah, you really artistic. You did a lot of hand drawing. Even as a young kid, I think this was 13 years old, you created this. And you wrote couture at the bottom. What was a 13-year-old you knowing about couture?
America's Next Top Model said that word a lot.
You didn't even know what it meant. You were just I like that word.
It's couture. It's just... It was probably for some gay ass concept. Half of my drawings as a kid were superheroes, sexy women with just strangely muscular arms. And
Is there a reason for that one?
I was just my own model. I was oh, I don't know what arms look like, so I'd do it in the mirror. And I just remember my teacher always being "Your women have too big of breasts. Real women don't look like that, and also they kind of look like men."
Like, was this supposed to be a woman you were drawing, or was it a self-portrait?
See, this is exactly what I'm talking. I was drawing me all along, just like Pearl said on her season or whatever. That's what I realized is
I mean, it kind of looks like your drag.
I was drawing my transness. Yeah, it's just like a face, lips, and then maybe the idea of hair. You don't know how it goes on there.
Yeah, it's really similar to Alaska. I don't know if you watched the episode I did with her, but we're talking about some of the art she did. And it was very similar, where like years before she ever even dreamed of being a drag queen, she was drawing these female characters that ended up looking like what her drag looked like.
It's kind of insane, and it's also funny because that was the skill that helped me navigate the straight world. Like, I couldn't play sports well enough. I was always last picked, made fun of for being like limp wristed. But the second like straight boys saw me draw a pair of big old titties, I made friends so quickly.
They're like, this kid has value.
Yeah, they're like, wow, you could never be gay. You drew the hottest like Powerpuff Girls I've ever seen. Let's have a sleepover where we watch Girls Gone Wild together.
Yeah, that's a thing that like in school, like I was never like involved. I also thought that was like weird. I'm like, all these straight guys get together to like watch porn. I'm like, it's kind of gay.
I mean, it wasn't like for that, but once you discover porn exists and you're already with the bros.
I don't know. Maybe I just like lived a different like existence where
You never got in like a jerk circle?
no.
Because me neither. And I swear every other gay guy on the planet is like, yeah, and in high school, I had my first fisting experience. It was so wild.
Why do you think you were missing out on those experiences?
I had no riz.
Oh, is that what it was?
It legit is. It took me 30 years to like know how to and I'm not talking about sex. I'm saying like you see somebody walking down the street and you're like, wow, they It took me 30 years to be that person.
Built that aura.
And I clung a lot to being a weirdo. So, you know, it was like my armor because it was true. People treated me like I was weird. And I was like, I'm so weird. I don't even deserve other human companionship. And then I discovered everybody is lonely enough to lower their standards so that someday you will.
And you're always there on the rebound.
I am right there at the cusp.
You just sit there under that net and just wait. Just ready.
Like once you're ready for this, and once you want to turn the lights down, like I'll do it, baby.
You're like, no one else pick you, huh?
I'll give you the best 10 seconds of your life, or of my life, anyway.
Got something I want to show you.
Oh my god, I feel like my drag is actually a lot old Greg. Like
It's becoming that now. This is a little old Greggy.
you ever drunk Baileys from a shoe? You ever drunk Baileys from my boy?
Not the old Grissy.
The old Grissy. Oh, I need to see that drag number.
Old Grissy.
Yeah, where somebody like does old Greg, because I've seen that a bunch, but like where they take it all the way and then they show you the old Grissy and then it squirts out Baileys into a shoe.
Art.
Protect it.
But back to talking about art, actual art. You mentioned very briefly that you were like really into drawing like female like comic book characters and stuff. And you were really into like the X-Men series in particular. What was it about like the female X-Men characters that you were so drawn to? Because you did a lot of art of mini characters, but like female X-Men characters were really hitting it for you.
I mean, I've got like legit whole sketchbooks just full of the same people in different outfits. It's the first place I've found myself really drawn to fashion. Like I loved their costumes. I think women are beautiful. I think women are stunning, amazing. And anytime I'd see like a man drawn, I'd be like, oh, you got muscles. Whoa. Oh, you're so strong. What unique traits. Like masculinity for me has just, at least in the way that it's taught to us, has never been something that's hot. And the X-Men, specifically the X-Women, are everything because they are in skin tight suits. They're wearing 2 strips of fabric. They have like bright green hair. They come from another planet. They've died 7 times. She just got kicked through a wall. Half of her clothes are falling off. But she's still doing it with a pose, like, ooh, like, oh.
Nasty.
Softcore porn with superpowers. It's like my dream.
You were just this sexually suppressed person. You had to get it out there somewhere, and it was drawing strangely veiny women
It really was. I remember the first time I really got in trouble in school was just for like drawing a butt. And it wasn't even a sexual butt, it was a comedy butt. But you're not allowed to draw butts at 5.
That's too much for you. You don't even want to see what's on
Oh.
the Microsoft Paint right now.
Oh, just get
I got a canvas queued up.
It's all scribbles, but in those scribbles,
Uh-huh.
there's more scribbles.
Hey, it's Maddy, and I want you to check out Courtney Act's new show, R&R with Courtney Act, where she tackles the world's biggest issues with some amazing guests. It's all sponsored by Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/Courtney50off and use code Courtney50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
You've talked about your art before, and you've said that your art, you don't really think about like visualize a certain thing that you want to create. You just have like general abstract concepts. And that a lot of times the things you create are things that you like dream about, right?
That's what it used to be. I don't really dream a whole lot anymore.
Oh, is there a reason for that, or just you just don't?
I smoke a lot of weed.
Oh,
And I do that so that I can get to sleep, you know? You got to make sacrifices somewhere. And once I started achieving my dreams, I was like, I don't need any new ones.
it's very like I don't. I mean, obviously, you know who Salvador Dali is, but I don't know how familiar you are with like his process. But I know he was someone that also would purposely like sleep deprive himself to and like make himself where he starts to fall asleep, and then he like try to keep himself in that little limbo state.
Because it like makes you...
You start seeing things you don't normally conceptualize. That's what a lot of his artworks were.
You're like tapped into the zone. As an artist, I could like never do the thing that real good artists do, where they spend like months and years working on a painting and adding a dot every day. I'm just like, art is my meth. I get so high off of whatever project I'm doing that I'm like, okay, I just got to keep doing this until I'm done. I'm gonna make this drawing of big boobied storm.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing. And
Yeah.
it's usually like an overnight thing, which I think is why I did as well at Drag Race as I did. Is they're like, hey, you only have tomorrow to get your homework done. You should have been working on it sooner. And I'm like, you didn't know.
Yeah.
I've never done homework sooner than today, right now.
Yeah, they're like you have to make this outfit. You have like one day to do it. You're like, well, am I gonna do it the other 23 hours?
Right? Like, I wish I was actually like that. I was robbed every time.
Even when you won.
Even when I won. I was robbed. Yeah, no. Okay, that's actually kind of legit. Because how the are y'all going to be giving out $100,000 and then wait until literally my sibling comes on to decide to double it?
Yeah.
You guys gave white me $200,000. Thanks to your funds, she's still here. Are you happy about that? Are you proud? Are you proud?
I was just there. I just showed up. I had no impact on that at all. I had nothing. I mean, no splash in regards to her winning. Yeah, like, going through like a lot of your old art and stuff like that, like with the guests, I try to like pull up like some old photos and try to find like old embarrassing photos. But I feel like you're someone because of like, you know, the way you carry yourself and like you're not ashamed of the things you've done and stuff in the past. I feel like an embarrassing photo of you would be like you in a suit, probably.
Which there are some, and I don't really care.
And it's tragic. Like people shouldn't see that. It looks
What?
cursed. It doesn't look right.
I look so hot. I don't know what you're talking about. That's back when I was like, why didn't America's Next Top Model take me?
You look like Drake when he was in the wheelchair.
I used to get that. I used to get Drake a lot, and Chris Brown, and Barack Obama.
That's a very favorable one. A little suit. I see young Barack.
Literally in that suit. I remember that night. Like, picked the suit up, walked down the street, and someone was like, you look like Barack Obama. And I was like, you look like you've never seen more than one black person. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Karen.
Yeah, right.
I needed that. Oh yeah, circling back. As I mentioned, like with the comic book stuff, which like moved on too quick. You actually wanted to be a comic book artist when you got older. What made you like leave that dream behind?
I think I just felt like there were other forms of expression that I wanted to do. I've never been really good at committing to anything or sticking to any one thing. And the most I did was like being in art school as a drawing and painting visual arts major. And after like 6 years of that, I got so frustrated that that's all my life was, that I went to public school, like regular school. And that was where I got to be like a dancer, a singer, an actor. So it was like the moment I discovered that I was able to actually do everything I wanted Like, why am I going to settle for
Yeah.
working really, really, really hard to draw boobs that I'm never going to be satisfied with? Because the boobs belonged on me. That's why.
That's a lesson for everybody. Like, stop focusing so much on artificial fake boobs for other people.
Focus on artificial fake boobs for you.
Put on that titty bib.
Honestly. Wait, you have a couple of titty bibs, right?
I want a couple, yeah.
Do you like them?
Not really. It's fine. It's just like, I think the only time I ever worn a titty bib, it's like for very specific looks. Like I did like a Colonel Sanders number where it's like I'm like lingerie, and like you have to have big breasts as Colonel Sanders.
You do, because he's not going to serve you shitty chicken.
We need the growth hormone chicken breasts.
You need those big old Colonel Sanders breasts.
Give me those Yvie Oddly drew these chicken breasts.
Oh my
That's
God.
what I need.
I bet you you would come to one of my drawings.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'll send you one.
I'll send it back signed.
And sticky.
So, how did you actually find drag though? Like what led you to the stage?
I don't want to say it. It's terrible. Drag Race.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know.
Was Drag Race your first time like seeing drag, or did you see it elsewhere, like Tu Wong Fu or something?
Yeah, that's the thing, is we've all seen drag in our culture, I'd like to believe. Or not all of us. Like, if the only thing you watched was Veggie Tales, then you still saw drag. But
I think so. I think there was a couple episodes.
there definitely was at least
sure.
one where, like, a vegetable put on... I don't know, I didn't actually watch that.
Yeah.
But, like, I'd seen drag before. I didn't really process it as being drag until like RuPaul's Drag Race came out and was like, hey, these weird men in dresses that you never understood before are actually kind of funny. Come laugh at them with me. And that was the first time I was able to see drag outside of the lens that I had grown up to see all sort of queerness in, which is, ew, what the is that? Get that he, she away from me. We are leaving this Applebee's right now.
No. It was presented in a way that wasn't just like a joke or like a negative thing. It was like this is actually kind of fun, kind of cool.
And it helped me see a little bit of the humanity in these super strange looking, bald eyebrowed. I was like, I went from being really transphobic, like I don't know why any man would ever want to be a woman, to being like, why would I ever want to be a full-time man? That's boring. Suits? I hate suits. And apparently I don't look good in them.
When did you make the decision to actually perform, though? When was Avon LaRue born?
Oh, that's so rude. I cannot believe you're just like out here. No, of course you're dead naming people. No empathy. It was Valentine's Day. Was when I made like the conscious choice. I'd performed before that, but like the conscious choice to be in drag, to perform at a drag show, and I did it. I did it because Venus Delight was hosting a workshop at the drag show on my college campus after, and I was like, wow, a real Rue girl, not like any of these weird...
You were that awful toxic super fan at that point.
Yeah. Well, but also they didn't exist then, because there were like 10 people watching the show, you know? And so like it wasn't a big deal if one person every 3 months runs up to you and is like, oh my God, I think I know you. That's it. So like I was really excited, even though, if I'm being honest, I did not care at all about Venus Delight then. I was like
Not a Madonna fan.
No, well, you called it. I was a toxic super fan, so I was like, I like her drag because it's good. I don't like her drag because she does Madonna, and I don't care about Madonna. And she came, and I ass-kissed like everybody else in the industry, like, oh my God, you're Madonna. So good. I love it. I love Madonna. I'm going to be on Drag Race someday. I didn't say that part, but I thought it.
Yeah. What were you wearing when you said that?
Jeans, a dress from Ross.
Over the jeans?
Yeah. This is still in the 2010s. I am doing my Hannah Montana layers.
I was literally gonna say Hannah Montana.
It literally was. I had a hoodie, I think, also underneath.
You looked
the
in the
dress.
mirror. You said no.
Yeah. Wear some skinny jeans underneath your dress, like a real lady does.
Yeah. But whenever you finally did get cast on the show, as I mentioned, like your drag was very different than most of the other queens that had been there at the time. Did you ever have a feeling of like imposter syndrome when you were on the show?
The entire time.
No, you didn't have that same like positive attitude that you had back in Denver?
Okay, actually, I did a little bit. I had both. That's where the imposter syndrome like sort of came from. Is I knew who I was. I came in with like the strongest idea of who I was. In my audition tape, I was like, I'm an artist, and I'm so weird, and I'm just passionate about art that I'll fight anyone for it or whatever. And I came in, and all of the confidence vanished the second I saw how many rhinestones real drag queens own. Like how sparkly their things are, how big their hair is. And this was the hardest I'd ever worked, the most money I'd ever spent. And even my nicest, most polished stuff was still like gum on the bottom of their shoes, which they made clear in the beginning. So that's part of the reason I was such a cunt, is like I had this imposter syndrome about like my drag literally isn't as good as theirs. But I was in the top so often that I was an egotistical cunt. Because that's what you get to be. That's what you get to be if you're like coasting through just being like, who cares if I didn't win? I'm one of their favorites. What are you going to do? Lip sync your way to the end? Ah, ha, 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 ha. There's a whole science behind it, I'm sure, about how like if you're cunty and the world tells you you're cunty, then you're actually cunty.
It's like there's a formulaic equation.
It is cunt plus cunt equals Violet Chachki.
Do you think she deserves to be a cunt?
No. No, but honestly, nobody does it like her, so it's iconic. Who cares? Like, I can't stand Violet. And I still want to be in a room licking her boots as she, like, says the meanest things to me because it's so funny. It's so funny. However, I would love to see the alternate world where Violet never got on Drag Race and is just some cunty, like, gay out in the real world, just being that amount of cunt.
I think that there's, like, a lot of people with similar, like, viewpoints. Like, you go to a show and there's, like, a guy in the front row with bad highlight with his arms crossed. But Violet's, like, one of the ones that, like, oh, I'm actually going to practice this makeup and get good.
Yeah.
And, like whenever a lot of people, and they've never done drag, and they're like, oh, if I was on Drag Race, I'd win. She's someone that actually, like, took that energy and she did it.
And she did it. Even though, like I said, I didn't like her. I didn't think it was good. I really hated that season. Thank God my season came along to wash away season 7 as like one of the worst seasons. They were like, it can get worse. We can have more bad queens. We could crown one.
Yeah. He said, it can't get worse than this. You said, hold my crunchy wig.
I'll hold my crunchy wig and give me that.
Do you still have like your, whatever they gave you? Little crown and scepter? Did they give you one of those little trophies?
Oh, I actually do.
That's the Drag Race crown?
Yeah. I don't know what's left of her.
I was about to say, it's kind of underwhelming. I feel like there should be more.
I was just reading a post somewhere the other day that was like, Yvie has one of the best crowns. And I'm like, if only people knew what I did to it. If only people knew. Like, there's like every wig, every pet I've ever owned is in here. Like half of the jewels have fallen out. Oh, by the way, want a piece? Here, let me carve you off a piece.
This is the closest I'll ever get to winning.
Yeah, you know? And a piece for you. Look at that. Oh. Congratulations.
Thank you, Body of Christ.
That's worth at least $12.
Honestly, I'll probably put it on Depop or something.
Wow. Oh. Well, now she's all just acting up. Calm down, girl.
But was it harder for you, like the reaction of like the judges and like your, fellow contestants, or like harder from the reaction from the fans? Like what affected you the most?
All of it? Like, all of it sucked? I don't know. All of it
sucked.
All of it sucked because, like, you're sitting there getting all of these reactions, and then you go back home and you're, like, sitting there imagining the worst of how all of those reactions are going to be pieced together. And you're like, everyone's going to hate me. Everything's going to be terrible. And then you have to watch yourself just do everything you've never liked about yourself on TV. And then have that be affirmed with people being like, yeah, she is terrible. So, I don't know. All of it sucked, but I like the competition aspect of it because, like, it makes sense to argue with other drag queens I'm competing against. It kind of sucks to argue with fans because they don't get that your opinion doesn't matter, you stupid piece of shit ass. I don't want a photo, you're not getting a photo. And I'm clearly over that.
Yeah, you definitely made that known in like other interviews and videos and stuff before that you don't subscribe to the idea of owing fans things just because
I
you
exist
create a
and I
platform.
was really good at doing what I do and you like that. Like that is not how we should be treating people. Especially because like there's so many better ways we could connect fan to human. Like I told you, I my fans and
Hmm.
I can't somebody who's like not willing to chill and see me as just a piece of meat. You know, just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get your number and never text you back. I need that sort of human connection.
There was a lot of negative reactions, especially whenever you were talking about how like you didn't feel that you owed fans like photos and things like that in your time. Did like their opinions about that affect you at all? Did you like care about their reaction?
Hell yes. Like, I think the hardest thing for me about my reigning year, about a drag race airing, all of that was that somehow, because of my bad personality on the show, people thought I didn't give a like, people thought you could say whatever, it doesn't matter. She clearly doesn't care. Look at the way she was fighting with those girls. And I'm so passionate because I'm a sensitive little I
Hmm.
have always been a big crier. I've got a big heart. Like, I cry for everybody. I hug lots. And so there's nothing more painful as an artist than like pouring your heart into something, even if you know it's going to piss people off, even if that's the point, and have people just like not vibe with it or not vibe with you,
Hmm.
especially off of a stupid reality TV shows. Like you guys can care all you want about winning and not winning and who did the best because like I busted my fucking ass to do this to get there. I ripped apart so many beads of pearls. I spiked so many untucked beverages. I deserve every last bit of this that I got. And the more I tried to fight it, the like worse it got. Eventually, I realized I just needed some time away from the fans.
Hmm.
So now I always tell whoever like the crown queen is like, I see you, girl. Let's not talk to each other anymore.
Did you very quickly like start to get over and realize that I need to focus on me and take a step away from the fans, or was there a period of time where it was really taking a like a toll on like your mental health?
Um, it was the whole, like I said, the whole reigning year, the whole crowning year, whatever.
Hmm.
That was like some of the worst mental health I've had in my life because you can't have everything looking like it's going right for you on paper. Like your family and friends and everyone are constantly being like, congratulations. And you're like, I'm so lonely. I don't feel like a human. People are asking me questions that I've never even thought about because I never pictured that Drag Race was an actual thing and that I'd actually get on and that I'd actually win it. Like, I don't I don't know what I'm doing in 5 years. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm not used to this life and touring. And people were really having fun. Not just me, but like tearing down a good number of girls from our season.
Hmm.
So yeah, my mental health was horrible. And then your family and friends, the people who supported you your whole life long, have absolutely no idea what it's like to be in your shoes and why you don't want to answer their texts or calls and why you don't have space to explain to them that if they try and guilt trip you into hanging out with them, you're just not going to talk to them.
Hmm.
And I told everybody that in that first year. It was rough. Like a rough adjustment to make, and also rough for me to try and find somewhere deep in myself that I am that be like, no, actually, I deserve all of the good things that happen. And like, even if it makes me feel kind of gross, uh, yeah, I deserve people paying me attention and thinking that like my art changed their life because that's what I did it for.
Hmm.
And because I'm a narcissist.
That's a big takeaway from all this. If people didn't already know, which they probably did, you are a narcissist.
And says the person dressed like me. You're an enabler.
Ally, ally. That's a difference. And I'm an enabler. I'm an ally. Yeah.
Be yourself, girl.
Yeah, but it's not just narcissism. Though, like I said, you won the show, and you know you had that impact, and it was reaffirmed whenever years later, you know, your drag house member wins the show too. That's like doubling down.
That was so hot for me, even though I knew it was also going to hurt my feelings because I knew if Willow won, that everyone was going to love her so much more than they love me. because she's fucking tiny and cute and probably gonna die tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
She's a Labubu version of you.
she is. She
Yeah.
comes with a little keychain in the back of her head, you know? Love that girl, and also hate her because she took all of my love.
Where did you meet Willow? You guys met at like Children's Hospital or something? Like, where'd y'all run into each other?
Chemo.
Chemo.
No, Willow was a part of the dance troupe that used to choreograph for the big drag shows here. And she was actually one of the only people who ever volunteered to choreograph for me, because all of the dancers got to choose which queens they wanted to choreograph for. So every month it would be like all the really crazy killer dancers would be like, yeah, I want the basic who does hair flips and bodysuits. I want the basic who does hair flips and bodysuits. And Willow gave me a shot, and she also made a documentary about me. And she may not ever admit this, but I know that had the hots for me so hard. And I like thought about it, but I was like, no, because she's so cute and little. I feel like I'd break her heart if I her and then never texted her back. Little did I know she's evil as shit, and that's what she does now. Willow, I miss you. Please call me.
Come back from the lake. She's always at the lake. She's always swimming. Right?
She's always at a lake or like a rave or something. It's either lake or like weird European rave. No in between. She doesn't even have to be in Europe.
Yeah, there somewhere out there. She's just like there's a warehouse next to the river, and she lives somewhere in a tent outside of that.
She goes hiking and climbing in the morning. She like plays tennis in the afternoon, and then she becomes her goddess twink self at night. I'm so jealous of her.
But you both have super rare bodily deteriorating like diseases. Was that something you knew when you first met that you like bonded over, or something you found out later?
Not even. It was something that honestly neither of us talked about until I talked about it on the show. I think that's what's kind of funny about it is it pieced together for me a lot of why Willow and I got along so well, because we had just like this dark and also intense view of like what we needed to do with the time that we have here. I just never knew. I just thought she was always going to South America for fun, not like weird super treatments and fun.
As you talked on the show, like you were diagnosed with I don't want to mispronounce it.
Do it. No, do it.
Ehlers-Danlos?
Oh, you got it. That's boring.
Hey. Educated. But Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, like when did you get that diagnosis?
15. It's funny that people like I've had so many people message me or talk to me about like how much getting that diagnosis changed their life. And for me, it really didn't change mine. Also, because I was in denial about it. I was just trying to get a physical so I could play sports and be a proper straight kid. And my mom was like, you're always in pain. Like, maybe we should talk to your doctor about that. They like knocked my knees a few times. They took some blood from my ear and they were like, hey, you're weird. It's either this weird disease or this weird disease. And I legitimately did not think about it again for like years. I was just like, yeah, I'm always in pain. I might be disabled from this weird disease or this weird disease.
When did it start to like kick back up for you again?
I started feeling it, like the actual repercussions of it, unignorable, when I went to compete on Drag Race the first time. Like I sprained my ankle for the first time like a couple months before I got the call, and like was out of commission, couldn't work, couldn't do drag. And that was the first time I was like, oh my God, I might be actually kind of disabled. Like a little bit. And Drag Race was like, hey, we're going to put that to the test. I want you to literally jump through hoops.
What are the effects that you, because obviously like you started to have some issues when you were a young kid and started to kick up more when you were on Drag Race, but I know recently you've talked about how it's gotten worse in recent times. What are the effects you live with now, currently?
My body is just like always in pain. I'm just always in like a baseline of sore, achy. As I've gotten older, I've noticed how specifically weak my joints are, and I'm noticing all the places I was overcorrecting before, trying to like stand or sit, all the places that like I've been hyperextending, and yeah, I don't know, it's just like shitty. Getting old sucks. But it's also kind of fun because every now and then you'll get like a spark of youthful energy, or like 10 seconds where like nothing hurts and you're like, wow, I can do whatever, and you drink a glass of water to celebrate, and then you break your hip.
Gosh.
I actually legit I get in the
Is that why you don't shave your mustache? You might hurt your wrist or something.
Oh my god, I don't shave my mustache, so I have nothing witty to say to that. You got me.
She's not lazy, she's disabled.
I'm disabled. That's why I'm not witty.
Yeah.
My brain's wrist is too limp.
But what are they? So is it mostly just like kind of like bone rubbing on bone, basically, like in your joints?
It's mostly just joints, but you find out how many joints the human body has when you think about how many bones are touching other bones. So it's like repeated motions like are bad for me. I think it actually contributes to my ADD because I'm like, oh, can't be sitting too long. Your ass bones are starting to hurt. That's a legit thing. Most of the injuries I have come from
Ass bones,
sleeping bones, like brushing your teeth bones. Like, it is so fucking ridiculous. And then I'll go and do like 12 backflips at a show, and for the most part be fine until the next day.
So is it I mean, you don't have to answer too much you're not comfortable talking about, but like, is it something that will affect your life expectancy or just quality of life?
There can be like heart complications and stuff with it, but I feel so bad being a representative for a community of people who like need it so much, because I just don't give a about like my disability. I don't give a if it does shorten my life. The only time I give a is when the pain is too much for me to push through and focus on whatever I want to be doing right now. And that's when it sucks. Is like there are moments often where I just like have to sit down and lay down and just not do anything, and know that that's like bad for every other part of my life, but my body is like, okay, I'll give you a break later. Like, I don't know.
What are the effects that it's having on like your drag profession? Like, is this something you'll be able to continuously do for a while, or is it like, do you find yourself having to pivot down the road?
I think, especially as drag grows and gets to be so many more different things than what people used to accept it as, it's fine. I'm gonna be fine. Like, it's difficult for me to perform. Performing is the hardest part to like cope with, because still to this day I have the hardest time trying to convince myself I can entertain a crowd without bending my body. Like, I see, you know, that feeling you get like when you're watching a crowd and they were excited for you, they're like, oh my god, I finally get to see that person, and then you see their eyes start to glaze over. Like, that is like kryptonite to a drag queen. We don't want that shit. I only want to see like yas and dollars.
Yeah, that's why I only do like 2.5, 3 minute numbers.
Yeah, you're like, keep it quick before they see the real me.
Yeah. Like, don't do enough so that leaves them wanting more. But
I know that my job is to deliver stellar performances, and people have seen what I can do, the best of what I can do, and they kind of just expect that. There's still like at least a gig or two a year where my body's in so much pain and I'm not ready to do anything, and somebody in the meet and greet will say like one of the most triggering things for me, which is like, oh, are you gonna do your back bend thing? Are you gonna do I want to see you do the flips. And I was like, so rude of you to know what I can do, and obviously have paid attention to the platform where I was also being like, every time I do this, it's killing me, and still out loud be like, kill yourself, yes. Like, it's so wild. But whatever, like, I understand what people want, and I just have to get more creative with how to deny them.
So you just have plans for it in the future, like if you are still doing drag, just to find different ways to perform.
Yeah, different ways to backflip. Like, I'll eventually get into having like groups of twinks just lift me up,
or just have the wires like Pink.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, if Pink and Katy Perry can do it, I believe in me.
Why not?
I'm going to space next.
Oh shit, that's inspiring.
It really is.
To promote some shitty product or new album.
Oh God. Oh,
Do you have plans to make more music?
I do.
Say no.
I do.
Oh, okay.
I do. What? 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 Okay. And somebody just doesn't like rap music, doesn't appreciate what black people have contributed to the culture, even though they were listening to funk in my bathroom.
Yeah, but that hippity hop stuff, like, I just don't get it.
Whatever. As if I love that you're secretly one of the better rappers to ever come.
It's very kind.
To come out of drag queens on Drag Race who are also white girls.
It's a very exclusive club, but
But you are at the top of that very exclusive club. You've got the jacket.
Yeah, it's just my goal. It's like in a world of like hip hop drag queens, I want to be the Eminem.
You could, you could. It's hot. It gets the plays. The world only really wants bad, like Megan Thee Stallion, or like Eminem's, Jack Harlow, whatever the three other white guys who have gotten big in rap over the last 10 years.
Yeah, but you do have plans to make more music. Do you have plans to make any other art or things? You started a new podcast recently.
Yeah, I started a new podcast with some other queers called High Key. I'm excited about it.
What's the format of that? What are you guys talking about?
The format of it is it's like just a cultural podcast. We sit down, we key, they say things, and then I throw a wrench at them, both metaphorically and definitely literally.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that they're not doing the same boring shit that other political liberal people are, where we're like using the same words and being like, yes, we all need to, I don't know, remember Marsha P. Johnson. And like, actually, we all do need to remember Marsha P. Johnson. That's right. But, I just think there's so much of like the same mind space, the same speak. Like, I honestly sometimes get so sick of being around queer people because they're just like virtue signaling the shit out of themselves. I'm like, girl, this is a basement bathroom. We're doing coke. You don't need to tell me how much you go up for the dolls, girl. Like, I know.
Yeah, so we know you're bumping that. Now bump this.
Especially because, like, this is that doll's coke. You better be for the dolls.
Yeah. So if you're actually for the doll, give her a 20.
Give her a 20.
She
Give her
keeps
a
giving
job.
you bumps.
Pay the dolls for their bumps.
Yeah. So outside of the podcast, what else do you have coming up? Are you still doing like any tours or shows or things coming up soon?
So I'd love to give y'all like a fantastic answer about like all the things I'm doing, planning, seeing, dreaming. I never know what I'm doing. I'm just here trying to make art, shouting into the void. Now with a podcast. I wrote a book. Y'all can check that out. It's green.
Yeah, we'll put on the screen there.
Yeah, it looks like whatever's on the screen. I'm like I just legit want to make art until I die at a tragically young age. Like, I just want to paint, I want to draw, I want to rap, I don't challenge you to a rap battle. No swear words.
No swear words?
No
okay, we're
swear
doing Christian rap.
We're doing Christian rap, but I still get to say
Yeah, we're doing, that's, you have an unfair advantage.
I really do. I
gotta go full kids bob. It sucks. It means you can't say sis. It's a slur now.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So new music, new podcast, and anything else. If you are coming up with new projects, any shows or anything coming out, Instagram is that the best place to keep up with you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Oddly Yvie, TikTok. For some reason, I'm there, even though I'm not good at it. All About Yvie. My website, if you're really old. Facebook, if you're really, really old, or my mom or my grandmother or my art teacher. But, stay tuned. Someday I probably will use the OnlyFans I have.
Oh, yeah, you did make one a long time ago, didn't you?
I
I remember you posting about it.
I made an OnlyFans
Yeah,
and
you started like posting poll on Twitter and stuff.
Oh, that was completely different. I was doing that because the world was ending.
Oh, okay. And now the world isn't, you stop, now you're a prude.
I want to die in a zombie apocalypse. That's how I want to go, and I want it to happen right now.
Goals. Well, on that note, that's the last bit of time we have and the last of my cards. But before we go, I did want to get you something. As we mentioned earlier, you are a big comic book fan. You want to be a comic book artist whenever you were younger.
Right.
And in particular, you're really drawn to a lot of like 90s X-Men's and like the female heroines in the X-Men universe.
Oh, what are you about to pull out right
I
now?
want to get you a few comics from like the local comic book store.
What?
This is the original edition that introduced Jubilee. This is a signed copy by Chris Claremont, who created a lot of the original female characters.
And I remember this cover specifically.
Yeah.
I drew this like over and over and over again.
And then a pioneer of the 90s X-Men universe in particular, which is what you were drawing.
Jim Lee!
A little Jim Lee. But yeah, just some little comics to add to your collection.
You're so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, now I feel bad because like you got me like all of literally my favorite X-women. I've got a couple of men on there too. Now that I'm gay, I can appreciate them a little bit more.
Yeah, that one didn't have the heroines, but it had the Jim Lee signature. So.
Oh, do I have anything for you? No,
Well,
I just gave you the duels.
you gave me a I got a piece of history.
Okay, I'll take that piece of history, and if anyone sees this person on the streets, jump them.
No, please no. It's just cubic zirconium. It's not even.
Is it really?
Probably it's not. Probably I don't think it's even real glass crystal.
I don't.
Anyway, but yeah, I thought it was a cool gift. Like I had to have the lady at the store help me because I'm not as big of a comic book nerd. I just have the base, like someone who's watched the movies. That's like the same base level of understanding.
That's where I started, and then I read all of the websites about all of the character descriptions and what outfits they wore when they were dating who. Mm-hmm. Soap operas for little gay guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Wait, can we hug on camera? Do you do that with your guests?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. Have to get up. Make sure we don't like.
That you're not really hard right now.
Or let's just let people can't see it. Again, monetization.
Okay, wait. Okay, then let's crouch hug.
Sisters.
Welcome. Thanks for coming. Thanks for chilling in my home.
I'm gonna screen grab that and be like Yvie and Willow meeting for the first time.
Oh my god, actually it kind of was. Love you, girlie.
Yeah. So why of all the comics, what was it about X-Men? Why'd you love X-Men so much?
I just loved X-Men because
Other than the big titties.
it really was like a soap opera. Like that's what I got into that I discovered was I didn't care about like the fight scenes that much. I don't care that much about the good and evil. I liked all the interpersonal drama of like, oh, that's my girlfriend, but she's cheating with that guy, and like that guy is actually just a clone of himself. So technically speaking, they're both cheating. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I loved that aspect of it, and I don't know. There was a part of me that also believed that maybe I could be one someday. You remember when that like one politician a couple of years back was like, "Yeah, they're all mutants." Mm-hmm. I felt that so hardcore in my soul. Like I am, and
now you feel like when he turned into a blob, you're like, "That's me." Actually,
that is me, and that's why I like really don't think of myself as having a disability. I just have a superpower. That sucks because I have to wear sunglasses inside.
Mm-hmm. But so did Cyclops.
Exactly. I also don't have to do that.
You're basically Cyclops.
I
Yeah.
just
Well,
choose.
not yet. You're gonna be Professor X.
Oh my god.
But without the power, it's just the wheelchair.
Honestly, that would blow.
Like this sucks.
Just because his wheelchairs were always weird as shit. Mm-hmm. Like, why does he have a hovercraft one day and then he's just like old lady Scotland the next? Mm-hmm. There's no consistency there.
You can have a really grungy, cunty little wheelchair though. Make it your own.
I probably do, Will. I have like 12 canes because I just buy a new one every time I sprain my ankle and I'm on the road. Like, oh no, now I need a cane. And then I get back home and add it to the cane collection.
You're getting old.
It's Danity Cane, baby. That's sugar cane. Yeah. I forgot about her.
But on that note, thank you again so much for tuning in. Make sure to stay tuned to Yvie's social so you can see all the stuff that she has coming up. And make sure to subscribe to the channel here so you can keep track of all the upcoming guests. And join us next time whenever we have somebody else. Till then, bye guys.
Time to untuck!
Let's go.
Get the f*** out of my house. We already nutted.